Hello, guys, girls, and people that have overcome the gender binary. What's up? So, this is like an introduction to my YouTube channel, and I thought a good way to introduce it, because I want to do mostly videos about me and my transition as a transgender male. I thought a good way was to have you guys get to know me a little bit. So, I'm doing a Q&A that I received lovely questions from some of my amazing friends. And yeah, so let's get right into it, shall we? First up is name and pronouns. Well, my name is Max Carter, and my pronouns are he, him, or they, them. I'm not really picky as long as it isn't she, her, because that's just like slap to the face. Anyway, that was the easiest question. The rest get a little more tricky. So, sum up my love life in one sentence. This one took me a long time to actually think of an answer to, but I realized a good sentence slash reference is bowling alley performance art, just the two of us. That, if you weren't aware, is a quote from the musical Be More Chill. See, I like Be More Chill. I saw Be More Chill live July 7th. It was phenomenal. Highly recommend. But the context behind that quote is the main character, Jeremy, is like this geeky, awkward, sweaty high school teenager. And he's not really popular. But there's this girl, Christine, and he's like completely head over heels in love with this girl. But she doesn't really notice him. So throughout the musical, while so many Japanese antics are going on, if you've seen the musical, you know what I mean. He gets closer to Christine in a platonic way. And at the very end, he asks her out by saying, bowling alley performance art, just the two of us, which is a reference to something earlier on in the show. But the reason I picked this quote particularly is because I'm a very nerdy person. I'm a very awkward person. I tend to be very unpopular in school. And I relate to Jeremy in like many ways, but even though I'm like such an awkward, gross, sweaty human being, somehow my love life is kind of actually it like tends to go relatively well, which makes no sense, especially if you know me as a person. But I thought that it would be a nice comparison, I guess, and kind of a fun reference to put in there. Okay, so the next one is, what do you do for fun? I'm a big reader. In fact, I got 3 new books in the mail yesterday, which I'm itching to read. I am so excited. Uh, but another thing I do is write. I write like a lot. I've been trying to write this novel for a while, not really going anywhere because I have major writer's block. I'm also usually working around like 25,000 stories at once, but most of them are fan fictions. I only have like a few big projects at one time. One of my other big projects that I'm trying to work on is something I am really hoping to do one day. Like, it's a musical. Right now, the working title is called The Awoo Musical, because when I told my friends about the plot idea, they were like, "Oh, that's so awoo!" So, as a joke, I named it The Awoo Musical. There's definitely going to be a different title when it comes out, I guess. If it comes out. I hope it does. But right now I'm playing around with the title Abnormal, but I think I'm going to wait until I actually finish the musical before I give it a permanent name. What the musical is about is this trans kid basically trying to work his way through the world after just coming out and trying to find his place, find his voice. I have the whole song list, the whole character list. I just need to write everything else. But like, one of my original ideas for the musical was actually based a lot on my personal life. After coming out, I couldn't sing. I loved my voice before that, or before coming out. Well, I didn't really love my voice. I just liked singing, and I had a decent voice, so I would sing a lot. But coming out as trans, like at the start, I never sang because I was just like, it's too feminine. So that was kind of where I got the idea. I got inspired for the idea for this musical. It's about a kid trying to transition, and I decided that he wasn't going to sing until the very last, like, song of the musical. And like whenever he was in a song, he would speak all the parts that were obviously supposed to be sung. I ended up changing that idea slightly, like just a little bit of a modification. So instead of waiting until the very end, I think it's about like the second or third song in Act 2 where he finally decides to sing. So that's kind of what I'm working on right now. Someone asked me, do I work or am I in school? I work. I work at Walmart. Though once I get on T and possibly after Tops, I really do want to perform in Broadway musicals. I'm a big musical nerd, as I think I've mentioned. And I just really love performing in general. I was in a bunch of plays when I was in musicals when I was a kid. But in school, I went to Ramapo in New Jersey for about 2 months, and then I dropped out. It was not for me, and college isn't for anyone. So if you go to college and you think it isn't for you, I mean, maybe you should just stick out another semester. But like, if it's not for you, it's not for you. You can't really change that. Try finding something else that you can do. Like, eventually, I do want to take online classes, but I'm not sure about when to start that. So yeah, I work at Walmart right now. I unload trucks. It's a lot of fun. I love my job, and I love the people I work with. It just can be a little bit stressful. Okay. Next question. Favorite and least favorite thing about myself. My favorite thing about myself is probably my creativity or my voice. And my least favorite thing is my body and my voice. Now, I said voice for both. The reason is I like my voice, and I have long since gotten past the fear, I guess, of singing, even in public. And I do love my voice. It is a really good voice. Just sometimes I wish it was, obviously, I wish it was lower because it's a little bit high pitched. So, I mean, I love my voice, but at the same time, I really do hate it because I want it to be what it is not, even though I do realize that it is a good voice for as of now, and I do have a decent range. So then my other favorite thing I said is my creativity, because I do write a lot and I do have a lot of really good ideas. Unfortunately, I do have ADHD, so like a lot of my ideas kind of get jumbled, I guess, for lack of a better word. But I do love my creativity too. And the other least favorite thing I said is my body. And I think that's kind of obvious. Why? First of all, I have a female body, which I do not appreciate being a trans man. I mean, no trans man appreciates their female body, but and I've always been like a little bit overweight. Like, not massively, but like enough that my parents like hassle me about losing weight, which I think is not okay. I think that's fat shaming, and we shouldn't do that. We shouldn't. It's just, fat can be beautiful. Fat is beautiful. Why do you must make fat an ugly thing? So I just kind of, but even still, I'm like very self-conscious about my body, and I just kind of wish I could just get a knife and like slice off my chest. And I wish I had a real penis, but whatever. My packer will do for now. Okay. How did I come out? Well, interestingly enough, I am 19 years old, and I only came out this past November. So I was like halfway through my 18th year of life. But how I came out? Okay, first of all, the reason I came out so late is because where I grew up, it's very cis-het. And not only is it very a cis-het town, I went to Catholic school for a lot of my life. And in Catholic school, you were forced to wear a skirt if you were female. And, Catholics don't really have or this is a generalization. I'm not saying all Catholics are like this, because I know they're not. But in general, as a religion, Catholicism is not very comfortable with the LGBT community, I guess. And that kind of scared me into staying in the closet. And also freshman year, I went to an all-girls school, so that kind of sucked too. I feel like I've known since 6th grade. I remember in 6th grade hearing something about non-binary and gender fluid and trans, and I was like, that sounds like it fits me, because I don't feel like a girl. But the next day I was back at Catholic school wearing a skirt, and I kind of just tried to turn off the voice in my head that said that. So living in this town, I didn't really have much exposure to the trans community. And I mean, my parents, like my mom tries to be accepting of trans folk, but my dad is super transphobic. So like obviously I didn't really want to deal with that. This is like another reasons why I kind of kept it hidden. But when I went to college for all of 2 months, I was like exposed to like this world I'd never seen before, like with people being comfortable in their own skin, people who were trans, people who were non-binary, people who were like gay or lesbian or like, and it was amazing. It was an eye-opener for me. So after that, I kind of just like started feeling more comfortable and able to like be myself. So the first when I came out to my group therapy, because at the time I was in group therapy, and they were really supportive, except for this one kind of asshole guy that I used to get along with before that one session where I came out, but then he kind of, So it was in group therapy, and because I was trying to ask for advice. The next people I came out to were my best friend, Aiden, who is trans himself, and I thought he would be able to support me. And from there, I started talking to a few different friends at a time. Eventually changed my Instagram and Snapchat once I had told enough friends so they wouldn't be like completely surprised. And so I changed my Instagram, Snapchat, Facebook, Twitter, everything so it would say Max. And coming out to my mom was interesting. We were in the car, and I was like, "Hey, can we go to the mall today?" And she's like, "Why?" And I was just kind of, "I need new clothes." And she's like, "Why do you need new clothes? You have a lot of clothes." And I'm like, "I threw a lot of them out, and I want to get more masculine clothes." And she's like, "Why? Do you think you're a boy now?" And I was like, "Yeah." So that was, and then she was just kind of like, I love my mom, but I feel like she was only accepting of people because they weren't her own kid. So she wasn't very happy with that. I never actually came out to my father. Like, he knows. He knows because my mom told him, obviously. And he actually told my grandparents. But never once have we sat down and had a conversation about it. Or I've even mentioned it. Or anything. So, yeah. That was kind of my coming out story in short. Honestly, like I said, I love my family. They don't really like, it's not like they don't accept me. It's just that they don't really use the right name or pronouns. And like some of them definitely don't accept me. But like the only person in my family at all that even like tries to use my pronouns and correct names is my cousin, who is a godsend. Oh my God, I love her. Let me just say, she is the most amazing person I've ever met. And like she's super supportive and super loving, and she's just like a gorgeous, amazing person. And if you're watching this, I'm the gayer cousin now. Okay, so that's kind of a little bit of information about me. That's all the questions I have, and it's kind of getting a little bit long of a video, so I just wanted to say, have a great life. Just be who you are. Like, Thanks for watching the video. Like, subscribe, notifications, etc. Just make it a great day. Bye, guys.